we're not going away. You know, we've been able to quell the naysayers a lot over the past couple of years, and we're just growing and growing, and it's going to take, you know, to get to the level, the AAA level that people are looking for in a college football gaming experience. We've taken a different approach than others have tried, but now we've got a couple of years under our belt, and if we get the support and we get the sales, then we can grow the team and keep building that momentum, and it will just snowball, and before you know it, we'll have a game that rivals anybody else's.
That was David Winter, founder for Canuck Play. Winter sits down with Mike Straw from Sports Gamers Online to talk about his upcoming release for Maximum Football 2020. If you want the full interview, of course the link will be in the description of this video. Shout out to Sports Gamers Online for getting this exclusive. But in this episode, we're only going to go over the key points in the interview. But before we do, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever we drop some more Maximum Football 2020 news. Be right back.
I reached out to Unity to ask just some technical questions, and that simple email turned into a partnership. We partnered officially with Unity, I believe, in January, and they had boots on the ground here in Peterborough in February. Their primary focus was improve the game's frame rate, just get the performance up to where it needs to be. One of the reasons they partnered, because it helps them showcase their tool. But for me, it was a way to get the experts. You know, these are the people that actually engineered the Unity development tools. And we're running at a pretty consistent 60 frames a second now, which is really nice to see.
So, like I said, guys, we're going to go over just a few key points or bulletins in the interview. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but they do go over a lot of great information. So guys, I want to ask you, what are the key points that as consumers we should take away from this interview?
One of the key points that we as consumers should take away from this interview is the fact that Unity had hands-on help with this game. What started out as a troubleshooting question for David Winter turned out into a full-blown partnership with Unity, allowing him to migrate his game onto the Unity 2019 engine. Although they were only involved for a specific task for a set amount of time, the partnership, according to Dave, now allows Maximum Football 2020 to run at 60 frames per second, which will be the difference maker in performance. Gameplay improvement being a top priority is another key point in the conversation that David Winter had with SGO. As a consumer, the fact that a small company like Canuck Play takes the task of improving their gameplay and animations every year shows that they are a company that listens to their audience. Throwing animations for the quarterback has changed as well, which shows that Canuck Play and Unity have really put in the work to make Maximum Football 2020 a better game overall.
It's all the same process. You want a smoother quarterback animation, that frame rate has to go up. You know what I'm saying? If you want your defensive back to be in the correct position on the field, with less glitchiness, with less like stuttering of the motion, even with like quarterback handing off to a halfback, it's the same process. So with that frame rate going up, it helps for all these things to roll over in a much smoother process. That is what we're looking for, and that is what we want.
Gotcha. So what should we expect as simulation players or gamers from this new mode, the Dynasty Mode 2.0?
Yeah, Dynasty Mode 2.0 is going to be very exciting to play. I actually can't wait to get my hands on it too, because it seems like they've done so much with it. That's their number one feature they wanted everybody to use or be able to use from last year's game, and now they're pretty much adding more to it, which is what they're trying to do every single year. I love that. I love what Maximum Football has done to allow that consumer to use, because the gameplay is huge, and that's what we all want to do as a player of the game. You have to have a good product of gameplay. Last year, they're always moving forward. They had those little steps forward, and this year, I think it's going to be a giant step forward for people to enjoy this game a lot more because of, I mentioned it earlier, Unity. Unity is going to help this thing out a lot. The main focus point on a game is the gameplay, and with Dynasty Mode 2.0, this is going to be a fantastic game, and if you are a college football nerd like myself, you're going to enjoy this a lot more because it seems like they've added a lot too. And with those recent screenshots we've seen as well, if you're not excited yet, you need to be, because I am ecstatic.
With the help of Unity, Maximum Football 2020 should be a cut above their predecessors. We should expect a more realistic college football experience from Dynasty Mode 2.0. Transfers and a depth chart system that is improved are a few things to look out for on the forefront. Winter elaborated, saying that the transfer process is streamlined, but they are working on the details that will show you mid-season if one of your players is considering leaving your school. You can expect that to be on one of the many content updates throughout the year. One of the gripes from the community last year was the difficulty in navigating the depth chart. Winter stated that there is a brand new depth chart system that should make it easier for the user to navigate.